Hello, it is Halloween time, which means I get a spooky video game t-shirt out. I might be using this channel just to show off all my t-shirts, and I don't regret it one bit. Hello, my name is Susan, welcome back to my channel. I like to make art videos, and today I'm going to talk about how I use references to speed up my art process, specifically for comics. I feel like some artists tend to shy away when using references for their art, but there is plenty of ways to use them guilt-free, super easy, helps speed up your comic process, helps your art improve, so many things. So let me just get into it before I start going crazy on the intro. So here's some benefits of using reference photos in the first place. One, it's going to help you improve. It will, because you're drawing from life, and any artist knows that if you need to improve your art, you have to study from life. Light, shape, form, anatomy, everything. You got to draw from life, you need reference. Number two is it's going to make everything fast. I promise. You can spend 30 minutes trying to draw one hand, or you can go to Google, pull up an image, type in hand, open, and you got it. It takes you 2 minutes now, less. So that kind of leads into the next thing. How do you find these photos, or how do you use them? And there's kind of two ways you can use them. Number one is basically, I know this is a bit redundant to say, but referencing them. So say, for example, you're trying to come up with some new cool hairstyle for your character, and you'll go to Google Images, or you'll find some hair website, and maybe you see some cool designs like braids or a nice color, and you use these as a reference, as a starting point to help your creativity flow. You don't copy them exactly unless you're trying to practice, and you know it's just for you, no one else. You don't claim it as yours. But you let them influence your art. So you see one hairstyle that has bright pink and another one that has braids coming down the middle. Well, you kind of start to take from different places, mix and match. You think of a character you liked and you're like, oh, I got an idea of, I want them to kind of look like that, but not quite. Let me look up some reference images and see similar ideas, right? So that's one way to do reference. And that's really good for things like, I guess, art block, or when you're having a bit of a creativity stop. It's good to pull up references to help you get started, and also help you kind of accurately draw what you're trying to draw. The more that you draw, especially in comics, but the more that you draw, the more you increase your visual library by looking at these reference photos and learning how to draw frogs, trees, houses, plants, shoes. The more you improve, and we all want to improve, right? That's a good one for helping you. Also poses. You can also do that with poses where you don't copy the exact same pose. And the reason I keep saying don't copy it exactly is because those photos are owned by someone. Someone took that photo, right? Say for example, a landscape or a building. If someone took that photo and it's not yours and it's not a stock photo that you paid some money for, a royalty-free photo, you can't just copy it exactly because it's not your property. And like I said, it's totally fine if you're doing it for your own self-improvement. You're just practicing. No one's gonna see it. Even if they do, you told them, I was looking at a reference photo, right? But in your comics, preferably, you're not gonna wanna copy those word for word because you should not. So the second way you can use your reference photos is basically actually copying them. And if you wanna actually copy the photo, you gotta take the photo. It's all yours, baby. If you took the photo, it's free game. Trace it, draw on top of it, I don't care. So as an example, in my last 2 chapters, I had to draw a playground. It was in my scene. I wanted a playground, I wanted swings. I like characters talking on swings. So I could have gone to Google or wherever, I could have gone to Google and, typed in playground. Generic playground, and I could have taken different parts from different playgrounds, like, okay, this one has one slide, this one's got a little rock wall. Let me construct my own playground so that, I'm not copying an image from Google. But I did need multiple angles of this playground. I don't like drawing playgrounds. I don't care. So I decided, I got in my car, I went to a local park, I grabbed my phone, and I took pictures. I took many pictures of this playground. And since they're my photos, I'll put a video up on the screen. I drew over it. I could have, there's a couple different ways, like you can kind of use Clip Studio Paint to make a line art, but I didn't like it. It was more of like a manga effect, and my comic's in color, so I chose not to do that. But I just drew right on top of it. I did the colors myself, and that saves me, okay, well granted, I'd spent an hour on this one, and I should not have. That's a bad thing. Don't do that. But I think an hour making this panel was way faster than me spending hours on multiple different panels trying to figure out how to draw a stinking playground from the angle I want it to look from without it looking weird. And same thing for hands. You know, you have hands, baby. It's so easy to take the exact shot of the hands that you need. Take them. You have a body. If you have a friend, put your body in the pose that your character is making. Use a mirror as well, and get those poses and put them in your program. Draw on top of them, or just reference them heavily. I have a couple of those as well. Maybe I'll throw them up on the screen. If you don't want to go outside, you don't want to use a body, maybe you got little parrot hands, that's okay, no problem. You can use 3D assets. And I'm not super familiar with like Blender or whatever, but I use Clip Studio Paint. It's got 3D assets. It's got chairs, it's got little school desks. You don't necessarily have to, I guess, force yourself to learn how to draw a chair perfectly from every angle in order to improve your art. We don't have time for that, right? Use these things. Use them as much as you can, because that panel that I spent an hour on, you know, visually the information is given to you in half a second. And that's all people need to look at it. At most, if someone's very nice, maybe they'll look at it for 5 seconds. And I love them. Thank you for that. But most people, they're scrolling on their app, or they're clicking, or they're flipping pages. They'll notice if it looks kind of wrong, but if it looks right because you use reference, it fits in perfectly. And you don't have to draw everything by hand in order to be the super best artist ever, because like I said, it's not worth that amount of time. You got chapters to get out, you got bonus art to make, you have things to do, you got a paycheck to make. Some of us, you have a job, a day job. You don't have all day to freaking come back from your day job and draw 5 playgrounds from scratch. That sucks. I feel like I haven't breathed for like 10 minutes, although I've probably only been talking for 3. I hope I don't talk too fast. I feel like I talk too fast for a YouTuber. Whatever. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a comic artist, baby. So I think I covered mostly what I wanted to cover. If you feel like I left something out, or you have a little bit of a question, let me know. I'm serious, guys. Use references. If you're a comic artist, hold nothing back. Use as many cheats as you can. I hope you guys have a good day. Happy Halloween. And I don't think I have anything else. Go read my comic, check out my Etsy, look at my Patreon. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.